A very rare classic set. Now available in Python colors. I still don't get it, folks. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And today we're doing a twofer video to wrap up our month of Cobra Convergence. We are looking at a Python version of the Cobra Combat Set. The Cobra Combat Set was a Sears exclusive in Canada back in 1984. It included a stinger and an asp. Now, unfortunately, these were not done. The set was not done in any future iterations. The stun was done as a convention. The stinger, what did I say stun for? The stinger was done as a convention exclusive in 2011, and the asp was released as an official toy in 1989. So we're going to separate the two vehicles and we'll take a look at them. Alright, first up we'll take a look at the attack Jeep known as the Stinger. The original Stinger was released back in 1984. It was an extensive retooling of the G.I. Joe Vamp. Basically, the lore seems to indicate that Cobra managed to capture several Vamps, and being impressed with how the Vamp handled in combat, they turned several of them over to Destro and his Mars company, who were able to reverse engineer the vehicles and redesign them for Cobra's usage. The modifications basically included adding a armed front bumper. Since it has some barbs here on the front, they aren't apparently anything special. Although in Lego terms, we're using a pair of knives. The rear tanks that were on the back for holding gasoline or water were stripped out and instead replaced with a hand grip, so that two extra soldiers could ride on the back of it. Plus, the vehicle was given a rack of 4 surface-to-air missiles. The rack is completely capable of rotating 360 degrees, and it can elevate. How well it elevates depends on the stiffness and friction of the pins that are being used. Like the later versions of the Vamp, it features some gull wing doors. Of course, if you're not careful, they'll just pop off in the Lego form. Probably should add a part to reinforce it a little better. As you can see, inside we have a driver. This is the Motor Viper version 2. Version 1 came with the original stun. And I guess instead of giving us an updated Stinger driver, they just made them all Motor Vipers. And of course, this one's also based on the later edition of the Stinger and Vamp, because it included a shovel. Excuse me a moment, folks. Somebody's at the door. And next up, we have the Cobra Asp, done in Python colors. The original Asp was released back in 1984, and it served as Cobra's first towed vehicle system. And while they've had a few others in recent years, all of them have been basically repurposed G.I. Joe ones that they've captured. The Asp remains primarily a Cobra exclusive. ASP in its original form was also an acronym that stood for Assault System Pod. However, when the Python Patrol version was released in '89, it was done up as a single word instead of the acronym. sort of implying that they dropped the idea of the acronym. The ASP only has one weapon, and it's these cannons in the front. The Python version has refitted 50mm Enforcer synchronized dual cannons. The ASP is intended as a towed weapon. Various sources, including the role-playing game, seem to indicate that the weapon can be used as an anti-armor, anti-personnel, and anti-aircraft weapon. When an ASP is brought into position, the legs are lowered, and then the tires get folded underneath it. And then the ASP is ready for battle. But of course, the command section of it can be raised up. And then the guns can be positioned however needed. Plus, when it's in this raised position, it can rotate. If it raises back a bit, if it leans back a little bit, it can rotate fully. A lot of people question the usage of the ASP doing this. I mean, yeah, for ground targets, yeah, this makes it a bigger target. But for an air target, it narrows its profile, since it's a little harder to spot the command section. Or at least that's the logic the toy's running with. It still doesn't make sense either way. And if we bring Larry in on this, he's not going to understand it either. And of course, inside it, we have a Python officer. Open up the canopy here so you can see him a little better. Not too many ways back, you saw another Python officer on board my stun. This is a different one, because I used a different head sculpt for him. Hey, Cobra's got recruits a lot of people. You just got to find a Lego head that's angry, and there we go. It'll suffice. But there we have it. Two vehicles from a classic and very rare exclusive set. Done up in the later colors. Now, if Hasbro would consider making either one of them in classified, I would suggest they consider going this route with them, because that would be a great way to pay homage to a classic set. Heck, I'd prefer it if they'd do it anyways with the regular colors as well. Well, what do all of you think of them? Give us a shout out in the comments and let us know. At any rate, that's my review of a Cobra Stinger and a Cobra Python Asp, or better known as a Python Combat Set. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do, if you love our content, please do leave us some likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. Next month, we'll be getting back to the Transformers again. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.